students, hope you all are fine. Today we are going to conclude our chapter and today's topic is some unusual plants. Some unusual plants. Here you can see some different types of leaves. I think it's clear for you. In your garden you can see there are different types of plants and they may have different types of designs like this. You can see it and this. In the last class we said that the plants are preparing food in their green leaves. And by conducting different experiments we focused that this green is very important for preparing food. That was the last day's topic. Now the question is that how the plants which having no green in their leaves are preparing food. That is the question. Now today we are going to discuss these topics and the first plant we are discussing is cactus. Cactus plant. I think the cactus plant is familiar for you. Cactus plant. It is a plant having spines. They are the plants having spines on them, and these cactus plants have no leaves, and this flattened area are their stem, not their leaves. They are stem. This is fleshy and flat. These cactus plants produce food through this stem and they don't have leaves and they only have spines on their flat area. This is about this cactus plant, and through this stem they produce food by photosynthesis. I think it's clear for you. The next plant is croton. This croton plant is similar to this plant. This croton have red pigment. Red pigment in its leaves rather than green. But actually this plant have chlorophyll. Chlorophyll. But this red pigment hides the green in these leaves. So these plants can produce food by photosynthesis. In the last two plants we discussed, both are producing food in the process of photosynthesis by the pigments. Here it have chlorophyll, and for cactus they are producing food in their stem. Now the question is, there are some plants which do not have chlorophyll. How they produce food? That is the question. Now we are considering the plant do not have chlorophyll. That is dodder. In your textbook you can see the diagram of this plant. Dodder. So in this plant there is no chlorophyll and green pigment. And this is a parasite plant. This is a parasite plant. That is, they are not preparing food by their own. They depend on other plants. That is, you can see some plants are depending on other plants and living on these plants. So, these plants are attaching on other plants, and we call this plant as host plant. HOST, host plant. So, these parasite plants always depend on the host plant and they absorb the food who prepared by this green leaf. Next is mushrooms. I think you are familiar with these mushrooms. And the peculiarity of these mushrooms are they don't have chlorophyll. They don't have no chlorophyll. No chlorophyll. And they don't produce food by their own. They absorb food from dead plants and animals, or rotting plants and animals. Like these mushrooms just absorb the food from other organisms, not they are producing food by their own. This is about mushrooms. I think this topic is clear for you. Now we are going to the next topic. The topic is energy flow. Energy flow. You know, sun is the primary energy source. Sun is the primary energy source. Now, in the last classes, we learned that for producing food in plants, they utilize sunlight, chlorophyll, then water, like many things. We already discussed. So, the point is that the sunlight is absorbed by our green plants. The sunlight is absorbed by these green plants and they produce food. Now, these green plants are eaten by the deer or rabbits like herbivores. So, this energy is transferred from sun to grass to deer. Now, this is eaten by lion. It is carnivores. Now, the energy is now reached in lion. So, here a flow is taking place. The energy from sun to grass to deer to lion. Here is a chain. You can see the flow of food from organism to organism. This is called the food chain. This is called food chain. So this food chain is that the flow of energy in the form of food from one organism to another is called food chain. So this is the example of one of the food chain. We just write it using these arrows, that is grass. No need of diagram. Okay. Then deer to lion. This is a simple food chain. We can write this food chain as this. I think the topic is clear. And always our food chain starts from producer, means plants. Always this food chain starts from producer or plants. This producer means plants. This is all about this topic. Now, the next topic is interdependence of plants and animals. Interdependence of plants and animals. In this world, plants and animals are depending each other. That means plants give food for animals. Plants give food, and in the process of photosynthesis, they are giving out oxygen. They are giving out oxygen. So these two are giving to animals by the plants. Then what is given by these animals? These animals are giving carbon dioxide. These animals are giving carbon dioxide outside during their respiration. Carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide is important for preparing food for plants. This carbon dioxide is important for plants. So here a give and take is taking place between animals and plants. This is the interdependence of plants. Means these plants are giving food and oxygen to animals and animals give carbon dioxide for plants. This is the important thing here. And after that, in your textbook, they are saying about the balancing in nature. Balancing in nature. This balancing means balancing in nature. For these plants and animals, they always need a balance. That is, the number of plants and animals to be in a balance. If these plants are in too much number, what happens? Then the animals get unable to give proper amount of carbon dioxide to their plants. And in another case, if these animals are in too much number, what happens? Then these plants get unable to give proper food and oxygen to these animals. So, it is very important to keep a balance between these plants and animals. So, we want to protect both plants and animals. This is explaining in this balancing in nature. Now, here we are concluding our chapter, and in the last classes we explained each and every things in this chapter, and now we are going to do your exercises. Here in your textbook you can see many questions. You please want to fill this in your textbook itself. And here there is short answer questions and long answer questions. So you want to write the questions and answers in your notebook, and these you just write in your textbook itself. And here you can see some picture talk. You also want to write this in your textbook. I think this chapter is over. You please want to read and complete these all things. It's all for today, and you please complete your homeworks and contact me if you have any doubts. These all are this chapter. Thank you.